Welcome back. Our continued and rolling coverage of the Maha Vikas Aghadi crisis continues. Shiv Sena Minister Eknath, Shinde and other rebel party MLAs are staying in Guwahati. They're staying in Assam at a 5-star hotel. They have been joined by none other than the Chief Minister of the state, Himanta Biswa Sharma. Shinde today told reporters that he has 40 plus MLAs with him. He also went on to say that the party which he envisages or his future is not to break away from Balasaheb Thackeray's Sena, but to carry his ideology of Hindutva together. Amidst deepening political crisis in the Aghadi government in Maharashtra, Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray has called a cabinet meeting today around 1 to 2 p.m. Post that meeting, sources tell us that the Chief Minister could hand in his resignation. My colleague Urvashi Khona held a conversation with Sanjay Raut, spokesperson of the party. Let's listen in.
मेरे साथ संजय राउत जुड़े हैं। आइए इनसे बात करते हैं। सर, ये क्या भूकंप चल रहा है महाराष्ट्र में, किस तरह से
चला जाता है? राजनीति में ऐसे भूकंप बहुत आते हैं देश में, नई बात क्या है? और शिवसेना को आदत है ऐसे भूकंप को पछाने की।
सर, बात जब एकनाथ शिंदे इनकी आती है, लॉयल
एकनाथ शिंदे की हो या और कोई हो, जो हुआ है उसका सामना करेंगे। लोग पार्टी इसलिए छोड़ते हैं कि उनके मन में कोई राजनीतिक स्वार्थ आता है, कोई दबाव होता है। जो शिंदे जी के साथ गए हैं उसमें से बहुत से तो हमारे लॉयलिस्ट हैं। हाँ, हमको भी आश्चर्य है कि क्यों चले गए। पार्टी ने उनको क्या नहीं दिया, सब कुछ दिया। चाहे एकनाथ शिंदे हो, चाहे और मिनिस्टर्स है, सबको पार्टी ने दिया है। जितना पार्टी की हैसियत है वो सब कुछ पार्टी ने ये लोगों को दिया है।
सर, आप थोड़े से इमोशनल भी साउंड करते जब एकनाथ शिंदे इनका नाम आता है।
एकनाथ शिंदे
पर उनकी ओर से क्या ये वाइब्स ऐसे?
नहीं, मेरी उनसे बातचीत चल रही है। आज अभी भी बातचीत में गाड़ी से उतर रहा था, उनका फ़ोन चल रहा था मेरे साथ।
तो क्या कोई सुलह हो पाया?
नहीं, हमने उनको अपील किया है कि आप वापस घर लौट आइए, हम आपका इंतज़ार कर रहे हैं।
बड़े निराश थे वो सर, जिस तरह से क्या ये चीज़ें देखी नहीं गई, एड्रेस नहीं की गई, इनके कंसर्न्स और इनका जो
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है। नहीं, गुस्सा नहीं है। जो उनका कोई नाराज़गी की बातें हैं उसके ऊपर पार्टी में चर्चा हो सकती है।
सरकार सर हिलते हुए दिखाई दे रही है कि
देखिए क्या होगा, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा सत्ता जाएगी ना, और तो कुछ नहीं होता है। थोड़ी हम सत्ता के लिए हमारा जन्म हुआ है, कभी ना कभी तो सत्ता छोड़नी पड़ती है।
कॉन्फिडेंस सर कहीं ना कहीं हिलते हुए दिखाई दे रहा है, ऐसा कुछ?
नहीं, हम सत्ता के लिए नहीं जीते। सत्ता आती है, सत्ता चली जाती है। मैं बालासाहब ठाकरे के साथ 30 साल तक काम किया है, मुझे मालूम है सत्ता क्या होती है।
आदित्य ठाकरे इन्होंने मंत्री पद का पोस्ट निकाल दिया ट्विटर से, कई
मुझे मालूम नहीं उस बारे में।
शरद पवार इन्होंने कहीं ना कहीं एक वार्निंग दी गई है कि ये सारे मेस को सॉल्व किया जाए।
नहीं, पवार साहब का और हमारा डायलॉग चल रहा है। पवार साहब आज मुख्यमंत्री जी से बातचीत करेंगे, हम सब एक साथ रहेंगे।
उद्धव ठाकरे हर्ट है पूरे इस इंसिडेंट से, क्योंकि एकनाथ शिंदे
क्यों नहीं हो गए? हमारा एक साथी इस तरह से छोड़कर चला जाता है, हमको दुख तो होता है। आगे
लास्ट चीज क्या देखा जा रहा है, क्या आपकी ओर से पूरा ये कर रहा है, क्योंकि सरकार पूरी तरह से अब जो है टॉपल होगी।
देखिए, सरकार को समस्या जरूर है, इतने लोग अगर साथ नहीं है, ये गठबंधन की सरकार है, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा विधानसभा बर्खास्त हो सकता है, और क्या हो सकती है।
थैंक यू सो मच। तो ये थे संजय राउत, जिन्होंने बहुत ही बड़ा ऐसा स्टेटमेंट दिया है कि जिस तरह से हलचल हो रही है, जिस तरह से चीज़ें हो रही है, उससे क्या ही होगी, सत्ता ही जा सकती है, ऐसा इनका मानना है और कहना है। ये कह रही है ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा विधानसभा बर्खास्त हो सकती है। ऐसा बड़ा स्टेटमेंट जो आज संजय राउत इन्होंने पूरा ITV नेटवर्क को दिया है। वीडियो जर्नलिस्ट रमेश जी के साथ मैं उर्वशी खोना, इंडिया न्यूज़ के लिए।
My colleague Sujata is joining us live on the broadcast. Sujata, we just heard that exclusive interaction with Sanjay Raut of the Shiv Sena. Very significant statement being given by Mr. Raut himself. Sanjay Raut says, and I quote him in Hindi, "Zyada se zyada kya hoga, satta chali jayegi." How are we to interpret this statement? Does it mean there is literally now no hope left for the Shiv Sena?
Yes, definitely. This is a big breaking coming in, wherein Sanjay Raut has clearly stated that, as you just said, that ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या होगा, सत्ता चली जाएगी. In this scenario, we see that after the sheer confidence and with the no stepping back attitude of Shinde, the way he has taken his MLAs to Assam, and he is residing there in a hotel. Somewhere the confidence of Shiv Sena is somewhere loosen up, wherein they are now in talks of not actually saving up the government, but actually saving their own party and looking after Shiv Sena itself. However, Sanjay Raut also stated that Eknath Shinde, he has worked with them very closely, and they have worked together for years, and he's an old friend. And since they have been working for years, it will not be easy neither for Eknath Shinde nor for the party to let each other go, and they are super sure that he is going to come back into the state. He is going to make a coming back to his home, and also he said that he had a talk for about an hour he also said that he had a word, he was on a call, on a telephonic conversation with Eknath Shinde, wherein they discussed about what are the latest happenings and the developments in the state. So here they are trying to put in forward that there are conversations going on between Eknath Shinde and the party, and soon there can be a homecoming and talks are underway. However, with Eknath Shinde's statement that he had given yesterday while he was at the airport, be it the Surat airport or the Assam airport, where he clearly stated that though they are Balasaheb Thackeray's, they do preach him and his Hindutva that he has taught them, yet he is going to get back the Hindutva that he feels has left from Shiv Sena after the formation of the Mahavikas Aghadi government. So herein, after Sanjay Raut's big statement, of course, meetings are underway, meetings are being held, and soon there are going to be many more developments into this Maharashtra political scenario. There are important meetings of the NCP, of the Congress with their MLAs, and in this, Bharatiya Janata Party has also asked their MLAs to come to Mumbai itself for an important meeting. So we see that all the political parties, they have tightened up their game, and they are now clearly focusing on what next turns can take in.
Well, absolutely. This is a big statement coming in by Sanjay Raut. It's almost like an acceptance of defeat. And Sujata, you did hear that interview which our colleague Urvashi had taken. He sounded extremely upset, almost hurt, dejected. And if you look at the tone, the body language, it does look like that the Sena is more or less heading towards a defeat. In fact, your sources also gave you a very similar grim scenario for the Sena, isn't it? What were your sources telling you? Help us, understand once again as far as Uddhav Thackeray's possible and probable resignation is concerned.
Definitely. According to the sources, it was known before that this activity of Eknath Shinde taking the MLAs to Surat was actually planned on 5th of June and it was done much later after the MLC election, and the results were declared. However, sources say that...
Correct. Sujata, apologies, I'm interrupting you. We're also being joined by Urvashi. Urvashi had taken that exclusive interview for us. Urvashi, first of all, congratulations on that exclusive interview. Towards the end of the interview, I just heard Sanjay Raut. It is a significant statement, a massive development as far as the story is concerned. Sanjay Raut almost conceding defeat, almost indirectly, candidly accepting on NewsX, and I reiterate his lines in Hindi, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या होगा, सत्ता चली जाएगी. How are we to interpret this statement if not as an acceptance of loss?
Well, this comes as a very big statement, and just before tweeting, in fact, he in an interview, he did inform us also the same, and he gave the similar statement, and that was all about that how ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या होगा, विधान सभा बर्खास्त होगी. One thing, see, he seems to be completely dejected. We understand that it's Sanjay Raut and Uddhav Thackeray who are hurt, and somewhere, in fact, in speeches, we could hear them a bit emotional also, because this is somewhere to the connects of the roots of Shiv Sena, because a leader like Eknath Shinde going ahead and taking up this very particular step, how things unwinded, it was something that was not expected from the side of Sanjay Raut and Uddhav Thackeray, it seems, and today this is the scenario, is what they are somewhere accepting it. We also understand that Sanjay Raut is in continuous touch with Eknath Shinde, and he's trying to go ahead with the several dialogues. If anything comes up, if there is kind of some some solution to the whole crisis, to the whole mess. It is Eknath Shinde, if he can come back home and go ahead with the heads up, is something, you know, which is important. So that is what right now Sanjay Raut is trying his level best. But the statements come in a very clear light that how it is a complete dejected environment, and they are completely upset. One second, how they go ahead and it's like there is no kind of what is kind of planning, that is a question mark. In fact, I also want to add on to this, the way they are openly somewhere accepting this very particular whole track on the lost path. Somewhere Sharad Pawar also seems to be angry with the statements that are coming out, and there's a kind of blame game that that is somewhere also seen between NCP and Shiv Sena, because Shiv Sena goes ahead and talks about that how even being in the state, how come under the nose of NCP, which handles the Home Ministry department, how under the nose of the same so many MLAs flew to Guwahati? That is a question, and at the same time we understand from the side of NCP what blame game comes to the Shiv Sena is.
Yeah, you speak of the blame game and we'll discuss that in greater detail, but right now only focusing on Sanjay Raut, you did mention a tweet by Mr. Raut himself. He's literally hinted at the dissolution of the assembly. Take us through the content of the tweet, because the tweet is in Marathi and we'll be putting out that tweet on our screens as well. First of all, help us understand the interpretation of the statement given by Sanjay Raut in that exclusive interview which you took, and on similar lines, you know, Sanjay Raut's latest tweet where he's literally hinting that the events which have taken place in Maharashtra seem to be headed towards the dissolution of the assembly.
Well, yes, absolutely. If we see the dissolution of assembly, this is hinted, which means that the kind of numbers that Eknath Shinde is somewhere confirming, the magical number should reach 37. And Eknath Shinde, while he is confirming about 41 or so, this seems to be somewhere true, though all the 41 are not from Shiv Sena. See, it is very much important on technical and the legal aspect that Eknath Shinde has to have people from his own party, and that too, and with numbers of 37, which is a magical number, and only if that he goes ahead, then the kind of majority can be proved. One second, while he is claiming so, but the statements which at first were not such, which from the side of Shiv Sena, Sanjay Raut, the statements were such that MVA government will not fall, there will be no toppling of government that will happen, we are very much confident, but this confidence seems to be shattering somewhere with the kind of statement that are coming now, and that is dissolution of assembly. Now, in fact, even before tweets, he has given an interview to us, Sanjay Raut, and he has went ahead and said that how we have not born to rule, we have not come to be in power, and it is okay if power goes, it's okay if we somewhere go on a sideline, and this gives us a very big statement. I am sure now at Silver Oak, wherein Sharad Pawar is taking this very particular meeting, such kind of statements are going to bring more and more heat in the meetings that are going there underway. At the same time, on parallel lines, there are several other meetings happening at also at Congress level, wherein Tamil Nadu you talk about at Balasaheb's residence, how there are meetings that are underway right now, and what are the discussion, what is the role of the Congress. But if we have to talk about Sanjay Raut, if we have to talk about Shiv Sena, this is something that has come as a major thing, because there is a vertical divide in Shiv Sena, one, and somewhere with the vertical divide, the person who is responsible with it, we understand that the heads of the Shiv Sena, be it Sanjay Raut or be it Uddhav Thackeray or so, seems to be somewhere inclining towards that very particular vertical tilt, a vertical divide that is there, and that is somewhere very much open. So they have accepted it. Dissolution of assembly seems to be a very big statement that comes out from the side of Sanjay Raut.
Well, certainly.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.